The 20th century is not only a time of unexampled technical progress and human development, but also of a great world events that turn the history of many countries. 1930-1940s is a difficult decade characterized by the establishment of authoritarian regimes and ideologies in many countries of Europe and Asia, including the USSR, Spain, Germany, China, Portugal, and many others. The first 3 years of the decade in Kazakhstan didn't pass without leaving a trace, but made the biggest adjustment to the general genetic fund of the nation. Hunger, repression, nationalism, the deepest crisis, all this had to be experienced by our ancestors. 1931 to 1933 came to Kazakh steppe death hunger. It was arranged by the Bolsheviki headed by Goloshekin, whose party name was Philip.
Наша страна велика и могуча. Наша коммунистическая партия всеми любимая и наш
13 years earlier, in the Euros, Comrade Philip was one of the organizers of the execution of the royal family. Kazakh intelligence, represented by Raskulov, Bukeichanov, Dulatov, Sadvakazov, wrote the Stalin and Goloshekin, the head of the Kazakh Raikom and the initiator of the Small October. The fact that people all over the Kazakhstan are dying of hunger didn't bother the Bolsheviki and Stalin with Goloshekin. They only intensified the totalitarian oppression and continued to go about their business. It has long been no secret that the leadership of the USSR deliberately underestimated the loss of population from hunger, especially in Kazakhstan and Ukraine. The true number of indigenous population of Kazakhstan, the Kazakhs, was destroyed before the famine and after the mass famine. For example, at the end of the 1937 census, Stalin discovered its decline instead of population growth. Expressing indignation and distrust at the outcome of the census work, Stalin ordered that the census data be classified, and all those who took part in it were declared enemies of the people. According to the preliminary data of historians, given in the book The Short Steppe, in those years 1,750,000 Kazakhs died of hunger. Alikhan Bukeichanov in his work also presented data on the number of Kazakhs before and after the death hunger. After all, he was an eyewitness and direct participant in the first general population census of the Russian Empire in 1897 in Kazakh steppe region. In 1896 to 1901, he took part in expedition organized by the Ministry of Agriculture and State Property of Russian Empire. The expedition investigated the number of Kazakhs and their economies in 3 regions at the Kazakh steppe. He also worked in 1902-1903 in a scientific expedition under the supervision of statistician Shevtsov on an economic survey of the Siberian Railway. In 1926, Bukeichanov was invited by the Presidium of the USSR Academy of Scientists to the Special Committee of the USSR Academy of Scientists for the Study of Union and Autonomous Republic as an expert of the Kazakhstan. Already in the spring of 1931, information about the famine began to flow to Almaty, which by that time had become the capital. By the authorities, ignored and only increased administrative pressure. As a result, several 100,000 Kazakhs migrated to China, Mongolia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Animal husbandry suffered huge losses. Of course, the population of Kazakhstan tried to resist the genocide, which resulted in a series of unrest and armed uprisings. During the Kazakh famine, according to some resources, about 19% of the republic's livestock died, which dealt a strong blow of the nomadic society. Goloshekin, the executioner of the Kazakh people, was arrested in 1977 and shot in 1941. However, his action and policy of Soviet power in the history of Kazakhs cannot be justified by any arrest or execution. Over the years, the Kazakhs intelligence tried to defend the right to live of Kazakh people, using the most diplomatic attempts. There remains hope and belief that such forms of genocide are recognized as anti-human and oppressive. Educate yourself through our videos. Like and subscribe to the channel to know even more about yourself.